With Season 4 fast approaching, I really hope From's ending avoids this divisive theory that caused confusion after Lost's ending 15 years ago. From Season 3 ended with plenty of setup for the show's long-term mysteries, revealing plenty of new information in the process. This includes the revelation that Tabitha and Jade are the reincarnations of Victor's mother, Miranda, and Christopher, who died protecting the town's children. It also set the stage for From Season 4 with the introduction of the man in yellow, who killed Jim in front of a time-traveling Julie. The show also hinted at the history of its monsters, with Boyd learning they are the original inhabitants of the town, who became immortal after sacrificing their children to an unknown entity. While it's likely this ties into the man in yellow's appearance, these answers also beg more questions as to how the characters in From are going to escape. However, despite the number of possibilities for how the story could end, I hope the show avoids using a confusing and divisive theory from Lost when it was coming to a close. A common From theory claims all the residents are actually dead, similar to a huge Lost theory. The confusing theory was popular for the sci-fi mystery series. Jade yelling with his hands on his head in From Season 3 finale. Plenty of From theories were proven wrong in the Season 3 finale, which finally offered some context as to what's going on in the mysterious town. However, one which still permeates conversation is the theory that all the characters have been dead this whole time. These theories offer the idea that everyone in the town is trapped in some sort of purgatory, with the mysteries and revelations they've been experiencing all having ties to their deaths. This theory hasn't been proven true or false yet, but it's something the show should probably avoid leaning into in order to avoid confusion. These theories are similar to ones made about Lost when it aired from 2004 to 2010. There was a prevailing belief that the characters on the island were also in a purgatory state, with mysteries like the smoke monster and its time travel elements all being explained away by the idea. This similarity between theories is ironic, since Jack Bender and Jeff Pinkner, who served as producers on Lost, are now producers on From. However, I'm worried that, if the show leans too much into the idea, it will cause confusion, especially if it's not true. Lost's characters weren't dead the entire time, but the finale caused big confusion. There was more to the final episode than everyone being in purgatory. Lost played into the idea of its core characters being dead, something that caused confusion when the series brought the idea into its final season. Lost Season 6 Flash Sideways timeline showed the main characters in a world where Oceanic Flight 815 never crashed on the island. At first, it was unclear what the larger narrative implications of this were, as it showcased events playing out differently than in the main timeline. However, the series finale revealed the Flash Sideways timeline was actually purgatory, with major character experiencing these events in an afterlife together. Because of the way it was presented, though, the twist caused many to believe the main characters of Lost were dead for the entire series. However, that isn't the case, with the Flash Sideways timeline actually being their reunion in the afterlife following the events of the main series. The characters had been alive for the whole show, but the way Season 6 presented the Flash Sideways timeline made it seem like they'd been dead the whole time. I'm worried that, if a similar idea is planned for From's ending, that same confusion will repeat itself all over again. From's finale has to avoid repeating Lost's "they were dead all along" confusion. The show's complexities can't be confusing by the end. Tabitha looking serious with scratches on her face in From Season 3. The best way for From to address the idea that its characters have been dead this whole time is to never make something similar a storyline in the show. While Tabitha and Jade's reincarnation reveal could be seen as an extension of this idea, neither of them are dead. Everything that's happened so far doesn't offer any indication that the characters are in a form of purgatory. Instead, they're clearly trapped in a supernatural location. This explains why Tabitha was able to briefly escape at the start of Season 3, something that wouldn't make sense if they were all dead. Even if there was some way of connecting the series to the idea of everyone being dead, doing so would make the storyline even more confusing. Reincarnation and time travel have already been introduced, and adding any form of afterlife would make events too confusing. Lost's handling of its version of purgatory showcased why introducing an afterlife component, no matter how it's done, will muddy the plot. If From's characters haven't been dead all along, I think it's best not to lean into any ideas that will make it unclear. From's story is stronger if all the trapped characters are alive. It makes the story more dramatic, with some hope that they'll escape. Kenny Liu looking serious in From Season 2 Episode 9. Just like Lost, the story of From is made stronger if the events in town are all real. This means tragedies like Kenny's family dying and Sarah getting corrupted by unknown forces are all really happening. It also means the supernatural events they experience, from the creatures to the cicadas, are something they've had to deal with in a genuine, real setting. It makes the series more dramatic if everything that's happening is real, since it means all its characters are in danger of a permanent death the entire time, but it also offers a sliver of hope that, despite everything they've been through, they can still find a way to escape. While there's plenty still unknown by the end of Season 3 that makes it feel far away, having them be in some form of limbo the whole time would cheapen the journey they've been on for so long. Even presenting some kind of afterlife like Lost could result in avoidable confusion. It's better for From if it sticks to a story where everyone is alive, avoiding confusion and making its events truly feel like they matter. If an afterlife component does get introduced, then the best option would be to tie it into the reincarnation elements Season 3 established. But, even then, I'm not sure From would benefit, since an afterlife could nullify the looming threat of death across the series. Taking after Lost in this way would be a mistake, since the confusion and dampening of the stakes would make the show feel like much of what happens doesn't have the weight it should.